Hello, Mario! In this video, we'll take a look at the key requirements for a survey brief. This comes up as part of a requirement for most surveys, is that you need to either sometimes produce a brief if you're asking someone else for a survey, or particularly if your client asks for you for a survey, it's a good idea to have a sound basis to work from so that your client knows exactly what you're going to get and you know exactly what it is you're going to produce. So I've produced this just a little bulletproof list here on the key requirements for a survey brief, and I'll just have a look at it in the big picture there, just to make it a little bit bigger. So here it is here as we have a look at it. It's based on the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors Professional Guidance Global Measured Surveys of Land, Buildings and Utilities. It seems to be quite comprehensive and has a real professional feel and tone to it. So the project information, we need to know why we're doing the project, the purpose of the project in particular, and we need to know who the client is, always handy to know, and some contact details for the client, the personnel that are going to be working on the job, certainly the location and extent of the survey, how far you're going to go, how you get to it, so just by road, what street and what have you it's in, and then a more closer detail. So any available information is important. The more information you can provide, the better quality quality of the communication, and the likelihood of you getting exactly what you want is seriously improved. Site access and access requirements. Can you get onto the site? Are there any animals involved or anything? Existing survey information. Any project, really important that you do your research beforehand. Health and safety. Identify any obvious hazards and state how you're going to deal with the health and safety, what your procedures are. What equipment are you going to use? Are you, level, total station, robotic, GPS? Just state what it is, and calibration and the checking of that equipment. So your client needs to know that they're getting the best, top of the line, and that it is accurate and has been checked as is per industry standards. What software you're going to be using, in particular some formats and things like that might be important, as your client may wish to interface with your information on a digital level. The timings, timelines and deadlines. So when you're proposing to get it done, contingencies for weather, that sort of thing probably need to be discussed. The survey accuracy, control, coordinate grid and datum, always important. You need to know what sort of accuracies you're working to. Remember, accuracy costs money. The more accurate it is, the more expensive it's going to be. Particularly coordinates and coordinate and height datums, and the origins of bearings, coordinates and heights. So the datums that they're on and where you're getting your information from. This could be just straight out of the GPS for bearings. Coordinates might be in terms of a particular mark, as are heights. The survey control accuracy, what sort of accuracy you're expecting to get or what you've got previously. Methodologies that you're going to use, just in general terms. You don't have to go into the specifics of mark to mark or detailed shot by shot, but the sort of traversing or double run leveling or leapfrog GPS or RTK, that type of thing, things that the client may be familiar with. What outputs, what you're going to give, and some details of the marks, how they're located, perhaps location diagrams, their depths, their robustness, how well they are out of the way, how long they're going to last, that sort of thing. Now, probably for a topographical survey, so you've got your control always to start with, then perhaps a topographical survey. So you need to know accuracy and height. Won't necessarily be the same as the control because it's at a lesser accuracy. Again, outputs, methodology, topographic features, what it is you're going to survey. Are you going to do the trees? It's usual to do the pavements and services and things outside of the actual site that could have an effect. And perhaps the feature code library that you're going to use would be quite handy from a client point of view. Underground utilities, sometimes done separately to topograph, sometimes incorporated, but how far you're going to go with the utilities, which features you're going to do, whether you're going to do underground stuff with ground penetrating radar, or you're just going to pick up surface covers and leave it at locations, so you won't be dipping the manholes for depth and things like that. And there's obviously implications here with health and safety, and the how you're going to present your utility information. There may be an element of setting out survey. Once you've done the topo, you may have to set out some proposed features. So what sort of accuracy you think you can achieve with that, what the outputs are like, what features you're likely to set out, maybe building corners, manholes, location of curb and channel, that type of thing, and how you're going to mark it. What are you going to do on hard surfaces or soft surfaces? You're going to be, use a dab of paint or some nails or pegs, stakes and what have you. At the end of the job, you definitely need to discuss the deliverables, what you're going to give, what CAD sort of things you're going to give, what digital stuff, what the format, in particular formats, what sort of report the client can expect and how you're going to deliver it. So all of these things need to be covered off in a survey brief, and it's quite important that you get this data to the information to the client. Now, I've also used as a basis, as I said, this little document here, which was available for download on the internet, measured surveys of land, buildings and utilities. It's quite a comprehensive document at 57 pages, but it's got all of the information there that I've provided there in more detail, and in some cases here it's almost in a form where you can fill it out. So how you go about using this for your brief is up to you. This is a pretty full-on sort of document, I would say, but it sort of covers off most of the key points that I've put there, and suggests a way forward with them. So I'm hoping that this will give you a little bit of a heads up on the survey brief that you can prepare for the Zealandia project that we're working on, and we can have that up and running so that I know what it is that I'm getting as the client, and as the contractor what my expectations are. Cheers! See you!